So DMs say this all the time. My players just aren't into role-playing. They don't do voices, they won't do monologues, they don't get emotional. But here's the problem. You might be defining roleplay wrong. Because role-playing, contrary to a lot of really great shows like Critical Role and Dimension 20 and all those other fantastic shows, but it isn't all about just accents and first-person speeches and acting training. Role-playing is simple. It is making decisions as a character. And if a player says, my character wouldn't trust them, that's role-playing. I step between them, roleplay. I don't like this deal. Roleplay. If you reward performance instead of decisions, then you might silently be punishing your quieter players. Because not everyone at your table is a theater kid, and they don't need to be. Honestly, it's probably best if they're not, speaking from experience. Some players just naturally speak in third person. Instead of saying, I draw my blade, they say, my character draws their blade. And that's not a problem. That's comfort. So if someone says, okay, my character is trying to persuade the guard, instead of saying, okay, now say it in character, instead what you should do is say, all right, but what approach are you taking? Are you trying to threaten them? Are you trying to flatter them? Are you trying to use logic to outsmart them? And what this does is this asks for intention instead of performance. So the following 4 words is where most DMs lose their players. What do you say? What that does is it creates an improv scenario, and a lot of people just aren't super gifted at thinking quickly and talking on their feet. Instead, as the DM, ask structured questions. Are you trying to intimidate, or are you trying to negotiate? Are you being honest or deceitful? Are you being calm, or are you just trying to be aggressive? Choices create clarity, and clarity creates confidence, especially for your more shy players or for your more analytical players. So if a player says something like, I want him to feel cornered, that's excellent roleplay. That is great. That is your character's intent. Reward that, either with advantage or inspiration or just some form of narrative impact. Let the dice tell the story afterwards. So you don't always need to reward whoever gives the longest speech, but you should reward clarity of character intent. Some players roleplay through strategy, and that is just as valid. Now, some players, they love tactics. They know every rule, they know every combo, they know every damage optimization, but yet when it comes time to roleplay, boom, they completely check out. But here's the secret. Don't fight that instinct. Weaponize it. So if a player is rule-centric, meta-aware, and combat-oriented, that is not a flaw. That is just how they engage with the game. And what you need to do is you need to tie roleplay directly to the mechanics. Make character investment mechanically relevant. Now, a simple system I've done in the past is you create bonds within the party. So if you do have a player that is just kind of like aloof and just feels better or more powerful or removed from the party, just ask the players, who are you bonded to? And if that doesn't work, just say, who relies on you? And what this does is it shifts the mindset from the emotional to the strategic. Say we have this paladin who just is pompous, like paladins, and thinks it's kind of better than the rest of the group. Whenever the person that relies on them falls to 0 health, the paladin is now at disadvantage until they're back up to full health. It just shows the psychological trauma of what happens when their companion falls. And that just creates like a new little mini game, and it gets them more invested in the rest of the party. And supporting is a skill, and it is active. It is not passive. So when you see someone trying to role play but they're hesitating, or they just had a big moment, celebrate that. And if they do get cut off by some of the more gregarious, louder players, say, hang on a second, let them finish. Just be an ally, be on their side, and teach the table to wait their turn. And celebrate those small wins. Encourage it, acknowledge it. Say, all right, that was awesome, that was so cool. And then move on. Just give them a little bit of nourishment and let them know that it is a safe table to play at. So again, your players may not be bad at role-playing, they may just all be coming at it from different angles, and you as the game master need to find and create a comfortable table to let them all approach it in the way that they can, because comfort is the key. What role-playing is making decisions as someone other than themselves. That's all role-playing is. It's intention. It is not silly voices. So as a GM, your main job is just being an ally and helping pull out intention in whatever way it manifests. And again, if you have a more number crunchy alpha player that likes control at the table, turn the emotional stakes into tactical stakes. In the same way for the quieter players, don't put them up on a stage. Give them options instead of open-ended demands. Offer choices, clear angles. Confidence grows when the path is visible. Some players need a spotlight. Some players need a doorway. And your job is to build both.